They say the first fire was stolen from the gods, but the second was earned by those who stayed close enough to burn. In the highlands above the sea, where the wind spoke in riddles and no roads dared climb, a boy named Lysis served as apprentice to the old glassblowers of Myrenos. He was not gifted, nor even particularly attentive, but something about the roar of the furnace called to him more than any voice ever had. Others shaped flutes and goblets, vases and jewelry, but Lysis wanted only to make lanterns, vessels that could cradle fire. He failed at it. Time and again he would gather the molten glass on the end of his pipe, roll it, blow into it, and watch it warble, wrinkle, or collapse. The others offered passing advice, or nothing at all. No one mocked him, but silence can weigh heavier than scorn. He grew to hate the glass, but he kept coming. One dusk, as the others packed up their tools and wandered into the cooling mountain air, Lysis stayed behind. He stood alone at the hearth, arms speckled with old burns, eyes tracing the crimson swirl within the furnace. The air shimmered with heat. His latest failure sat on the bench, a warped, slumped bulb that looked like it had wept itself into ruin. He stared at it until the sun vanished. The workshop grew dim, and then the crucible sang, not in melody or language, but in resonance, a deep hum that passed through stone and skin alike. The furnace's inner chamber glowed more fiercely for a moment, casting shadows that danced like memories. Lysis approached, trembling not with fear but recognition. He picked up his pipe. He gathered the molten glass once more, but this time something shifted. He stopped trying to command the shape. Instead, he listened to it. Let it lengthen how it wanted. Let it collapse, then spun it slowly to find its center. He blew not with force, but with patience, and when it cooled, he held in his hands a simple, translucent bulb, flawed but whole. He placed it near the embers, and for a long while he simply watched the way the light moved through it. How the bulb seemed to vanish and reveal the flame itself. Not in spite of its imperfections, but because of them. He whispered then, not to anyone, "I am not the light." And then with tears hot on his cheeks, "But I was made for it." The next morning the masters found him asleep beside the lantern. They said nothing, but one by one they began to set their own unfinished works beside his, curious to see how the fire would shine through them too. No one ever spoke of that night. But years later, when children in the village asked him how to make a perfect lantern, Lysis would only smile and say, "Stop trying to make it glow. Learn to let it shine."